Hey everyone, Dr. Sabrina Stools here, my lovely husband, Zach Stools.
Howdy.
Today we're going to take on a really, everyone has this question. Basically, why do people get constipated on the carnivore diet? So, for the first thing that we need to unpack here is, what does a normal bowel movement and normal bowel habit usually look like? So, if you really want to look at the different variations of stools that are out there, you can look up something called the Bristol stool chart, Bristol, and it'll basically show you different types of poops, little pellets, long sausages, ones that are ragged and jagged, and they're going to come in varieties of different colors, right? You can have poops that are brown, poops that are close to black, every shade of brown, yellow, green, red, you name it, okay? As a physician, I ask my patients about their poops all the time. It is everyone's favorite conversation. I personally have no problem talking about this, but if you're getting a little bit weirded out, chances are you actually need to have this conversation,
Yeah.
right?
Well, the big thing is what I hear a lot is people say, okay, well, I started carnivore, I'm feeling great, everything's good, but I haven't had a poop in 4 or 5 days. And I say, listen, that's normal, okay? The first reason why is because one, you're using up more of the food that you're putting in your body, right? Because your body can't digest fiber, so that has to make it through its way through your system. I forget what doctor it was, but he said you can't cure constipation by adding more fiber. It's similar to trying to correct a traffic jam by adding more cars, right? So that's kind of the analogy, is that you're adding more stuff into the system, expecting it to move faster. That really doesn't make sense from a physics perspective, but for some reason, that's what all of our doctors teach us. So
Yeah, and when you're going through carnivore, you're going to go through some stool changes, right, as your body kind of adjusts to this new way of eating. Normally, in the first couple of weeks, people do experience some degree of diarrhea, and we always just tell people, like, don't trust a fart. And it's just kind of like a joke in the carnivore community that's where you're at. After that, the transition does happen, and stools can become a little bit more infrequent, again, like Zach was saying, because what you are eating is going to be way more easily utilized and absorbed by your body, so there isn't much excess waste that needs to be removed. Now, many of you might not know this, but the majority of your stool is actually made up of water and dead bacteria. So it's not even, it's not even stuff, right? And when you remove the stuff, which is like the roughage from your plant materials.
I don't eat salad.
Right, but so any plant material that it has insoluble fiber, which all plant materials insoluble fiber, of course that's going to be what's going to come out and make up those stools, right? But that won't be making up the stools, so therefore there could be less stools, again, because of the efficiency that you're going to be on.
Yeah, well, not to mention too, you're eating less, like in volume. So, and then it also, your body is absorbing more of the protein. The percentage of amount of nutrients that are absorbed, like for meat compared to, let's say, beans or something like that, is significantly better. So you're absorbing more of what you eat. You're also eating less. So it kind of compounds into looking like, hey, I'm just not pooping very well. So you're not necessarily backed up. You're just have less to get rid of.
Less waste there, right? Yeah. So it'd be like, if you've ever thrown a party, you understand that your garbage fills up faster that week, right? Because there's more people at your place, there's more stuff that was being used, there's more trash to take out. Yeah. If it's just you staying at home by yourself for a week, you produce less garbage, less trash to take out. It's really that simple, right? It's what goes in has to come out. Now, that being said, there are some things to look out for to see, okay, could there still be a stool issue? Could there still be a digestive issue? One of those things being if you're getting an excessive amount of gas. Now, on a carnivore diet, because you aren't eating any sort of carbohydrates, your bacteria aren't doing any sort of fermenting, which means you shouldn't be getting any gas, which is like the fermentation bubbles that those bacteria give off. If there is an issue with extensive gas, such as a lot of bloating, a lot of burping, that's something that you definitely want to get checked out. Yeah. In addition to the gas, like I said, the bloating as well is a really big thing. You shouldn't be getting any bloating with carnivore. This should be the least bloated you've ever been in your life, hands down.
For sure, and that's initially a lot of the weight that people talk about losing.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I've been carnivore for a week, I've lost 5 pounds, and
it's bloat.
It's mostly bloat and water and less waste. So.
Yep.
It's a combination of those things. So the weight loss, actually, for me, I don't know if I've told you this story before, but I actually gained weight initially when I started carnivore. I went from about 164 pounds to 187. So I gained a significant amount of weight, and then that was for the first 3-4 months, and then the next 4 months after that, it was me slowly going from 187 down to where I am now at 152. And I've kind of stabilized and have stuck at 152.
Yeah. So the other thing to unpack with the stool stuff is if you're getting any weird colored stools. So if your stool is like a normal medium brown color, that's exactly what it should be, and it should be smooth, and it should be like a pretty decent sized sausage. That's your perfect poop.
Yeah, some sausages are bigger than others though.
Yes, but again, a good sized sausage. So the smoothness, that same shape, that's what a normal stool should look like. If you are not having that when you're actually having a bowel movement, again, you should talk to somebody because there might be something else to unpack here. Now, color variations. If you see red in your stool, that's an indication that there's probably blood coming from somewhere. Could it be a hemorrhoid?
Or dark black too.
Yeah, dark black as well. Could it be a hemorrhoid? Could it be a polyp? This is definitely something that you don't want to sleep on. You want to get checked out sooner than later. If you notice that you shouldn't notice anything green in your stool, because usually green is a result of you eating something green. Like if you've had spinach or kale or some other green product, your stool's going to end up being green. That shouldn't be a problem. If it is, again, get that checked out. Yellow stools are also another issue that some people can experience when they start going on carnivore. And this has to do with how much fat you're likely intaking and how your gallbladder might not be able to keep up with the amount of enzymes that are required to digest that fat, resulting in yellow poops.
Yep.
Sometimes the easiest solution for this is one, maybe cut back on your fat a little bit if you are eating a great deal of it. And two, sometimes you just have to take additional digestive enzymes with those meals. Ox bile enzymes are actually a really great tool for this because they contain the appropriate ratios of those enzymes to specifically break down fat. And this is actually a really good choice for people who have had their gallbladder removed if they want to actually go on this diet, right? So making sure that you are, again, having those enzymes coming into your system to additionally help break it down. Another point on enzymes is that if you are coming into this diet after years of yo-yo dieting and also previous digestive complaints and digestive issues, whether it's an IBS situation or an IBD situation, celiac, Crohn's, colitis, you might want to just do digestive enzymes in general so that you can actually just be helping your digestive system in the breakdown process. A lot of the times the gut has to heal to a certain degree before it can really start kicking up enzyme production appropriately. And this is because it's actually the cells that are in our small intestine that actually will release those enzymes into circulation. And we've had damage to that small intestine over years, whether it's from alcohol, bad food, glyphosate, antibiotics, seed oils. So the small intestine, a lot of people don't actually know this, but it's only one cell wall thick. It is a really, really thick cell, and that's a cell that will actually release the enzymes to help break stuff down as it goes through the small intestine. But when we damage it over time, those junctions that are supposed to be really, really tight, they start to loosen up, right? And we actually end up developing something called leaky gut. And leaky gut is when, you can have these food particles that don't quite get fully broken down because the cell wall has lost its integrity and you're not producing appropriate levels of enzymes.
I got that from eating almonds. I eat like crap. I'm from Georgia, right? So we just have terrible food choices, and I actually met her, and she's a naturopath, so of course it's nuts, almonds, and salad. And I had been fine. My digestion had been fine my whole life. I met her. Within 2 years, I had Crohn's disease from eating almonds because she made me swap out all of my flour and my wheat, which was good, right? Wheat's terrible for you, but for some reason, it didn't bother me as much. But as soon as I started eating almonds, remember it was within a year, you were making like the almond cookies?
Yep.
Almonds gave me Crohn's disease. I know that for a fact, right? Because as soon as I stopped eating almonds, I had a blood test, and they said the almonds were bad for me. As soon as I stopped eating almonds, so almonds, cyanide, lectins, oxalates, anti-nutrients, terrible stuff for you.
One of the worst
things you eat. Everybody's like, oh, you eat this. Almonds it's like, I think Dr. Chafee said like a pound of almonds has like enough cyanide to kill like a 150-pound man or something like that.
Either almonds or cashews.
I think it's cashews, maybe.
Yeah.
But almonds have the same compounds in them. They're all similar.
So if you are coming off of a diet where this stuff was in there and you had a lot of gut issues, you really do have to give your gut time to heal as well. And it usually takes about 3 months. And that's just because that's how long a healing cycle takes, right? So yes, you are going to experience stuff early in your journey, but to really see the longevity of what is possible for you on this diet and the healing that you can get, you have to give it at least 3 months, because that just is a healing cycle. It's 12 weeks. A healing cycle is 12 weeks at minimum. That's just science. You gotta just give it that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some it's longer. Like.
Oh no, it's the minimum, right? So sometimes people can take 6 months. It can take a year. The minimum under ideal circumstances is 3 months to see changes. So again, if you are noticing those yellow stools, this could potentially be an enzyme deficiency issue, or a fat absorption issue, and or both.
Yeah, or you're not chewing your food properly.
There's that too.
My problem.
Right, there's that too. So one of the interesting things about digestion is the only type of digestion that actually starts in the mouth is your carbohydrate digestion. Every other type of food, so proteins and fats, happen in the stomach and then into the small intestine. And it is a really long process. I think Dr. Barry actually has a video on walking through people's
Dr. Kim Barry.
Yeah, the actual digestive process. If you're interested in that, we could break it down for you as well. But if he's already got it, you can just go watch his.
He's got great videos. I love it. I love like Dr. Kim Barry's like he's like got this diplomatic thing about him where he can like tell you that you're stupid, but do it in a way that's like.
It's a southern accent.
Like you don't even know that he just called you stupid until you're like walking away and you're like, oh damn, I'm stupid. But you totally missed that he was just calling you out. Like he's just got this like magic to him, and we love him. Because whenever I want to tell you that you're stupid, it always comes out like you're stupid. So I have to watch that.
Yeah.
Anyway, but like we're all stupid, right? Like we all do dumb things, and I love that. I love like when I do something dumb, I want somebody to come up and say, "Hey,
well, because here's the thing: anytime that you are being stupid or dumb, it's really an opportunity to learn and get better. Yeah. So looking at these moments,
I'm not afraid to be dumb. I will, and that's why I've learned so much because I'll make the mistakes. I'll try. And a lot of people spend their whole lives never trying anything because they're afraid of making a mistake.
A beginner's mindset and an open mind is going to get you further in life than thinking that you have all the answers, that you've already got it all figured out. I mean, I could have told, last year you would have asked me what I thought about vegetables. I would have been like, yeah, you should have 3 salads a day minimum, right? Like, but again, the open mind, this idea that, hey, maybe I don't know absolutely everything, is really the only thing that actually allows for growth. And one of the things that I like to stay committed to is growing, right? Like I like to be completely unrecognizable from who I was years ago. So this is the path.
Yeah, it takes a while to learn, how to do everything. But that's the thing, is like it's trial and error, and everything like what works for me is not going to necessarily work for everyone else. So. You got to take from what works from different places and piece it together yourself. Mm-hmm. And I feel like sometimes on the internet, everybody's looking for like a one. We've been programmed to think that everything is at our fingertips, and that and it's all a lot of lies. Like especially the health world. The health world is the biggest set of lies you're ever going to see, because like there's this lie that a fit person or somebody with muscles or somebody who's skinny or thin is healthy, and that is a huge lie. Right, because that's not the case at all. So when you see some like people always say, "Oh, there's this so and so vegan who's a bodybuilder, and he's healthy." It's like, well, how do you know that? Are you looking at his blood work?
Yeah.
Do you
show me their lab?
Do you see what it's like when they wake up
every?
Do you talk to them? You know what they feel like every day when they wake up? No. Mm-hmm. So how do you know that?
Are they mentally stable? Yeah. Do they have strong cognition? Can they problem solve? Are they quick to anger, right? The ability to actually control your emotions and be more even-keeled emotionally is actually another really great bonus of the carnivore diet, because you simply aren't going to be on these glucose and insulin spikes. So you stay super even-keeled all day long. It really can take a lot to rattle you, just like a lion chilling in the Sahara. Like you don't see him getting bothered by gazelles, but if he wants to go and eat one,
he's
going to go eat one. Like
lions are the chillest. Like animals are so chill. All carnivores kind of have this. Carnivores have that like.
Carnivores are generally chill. So here's the thing, like you don't see carnivores going on vegan pages and starting arguments, but you see the opposite happening.
Yeah, all the time.
Carnivore, like we're just out here chilling, doing our thing because we know what works for us and we feel good. Like we will share from our perspective, but we're not going to go like onto your page as a vegan and be like,
and like a lot of people go on my page just to argue. Like I'll make an actual factual statement.
That they're not a carnivore because they have that attitude.
As soon as they try to attack, and you're like, dude, like I'm like, you need to stop with the fruit. I know you're eating fruit. I can tell you're eating fruit, because you know what? When I eat fruit, I feel like you. I get brain inflammation too. I get brain inflammation. I get like, it happened the other day. I like flipped out because I don't know what I ate, but I had 2 oranges because I was just craving orange. Like,
Yeah.
You know, and again, that was just that one time, and that taught me not to do it. So it's 3-4 days. Like I don't have that, you know, I haven't done it since. So it.
And here's the other thing too. So this craving for fruit is also part of the general experimentation of what can happen in this diet. In the sense of, okay, we've been doing this for a while. What would happen if I eat this? Is it going to mess up my
Yeah.
bones? Is it going to cause
That's why we do
dysfunction?
it, yeah.
Right? Like not because I'm quote unquote cheating on this diet. No, this is a way of living. But sometimes you want to experiment just to see because, you know, you still can't get away from the influencers telling you that eating fruit is good for you. And
I haven't had an avocado in like a month or 2 months, and I was, you know, eating one or two a week maybe. And because I was getting, every time I'd eat an avocado, I would get like itchy skin right here.
From the oxalates.
From the oxalates, and I couldn't figure it out. Every time, like within hours, I'm sitting here doing this. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, but
You know,
it's
so I haven't touched an avocado since, and it's experimentation, and also just to know. I mean, we're not. You know, I don't think that I'm not capable of handling the toxins in plants. We know that they're there, right? I don't think that if I wanted to go on a vegan diet and eat that way for a month, I could. I think my body can handle it. But why would I do that?
Right.
You know, and why would I want to feel that way and have no energy
And sometimes it is just a nice reminder. You're like, okay, let me see what it's like on the other side, because do I actually feel as good as I think I feel?
Right.
And then you get reminded.
And then nobody wants to feel like they're telling themselves, "Oh, you can never have this ever again," right?
Right.
I don't like that feeling either. So I like the fact that you could try it, you know, like is an orange insidious? No.
I will caveat that with the fact that there are some people whereby the carnivore way of eating is their last ditch effort at getting healthy, and they need to stay strict or they will put themselves into things like autoimmune flares, chronic pain flares,
or drinking alcohol, those kind of behaviors.
Those situations, it's not worth it for you to go down that path. But for us who are we're doing this for the ultimate healthy lifestyle, ultimate in performance, ultimate in raising our kids, sometimes for us, we will experiment to see, do we actually feel as bad as we think we're going to feel? Again, because we see other influencers in this space that are eating piles of fruit, piles of honey, right? You know, we don't
Paul
call him
Saladino's
by
trying
name.
to pay for his house in Costa Rica. We gotta call him out. Call him out. There's just no, like, he's like, 400 grams. Like, you don't need 400 grams. Like, I didn't eat 400 grams of carbs when I was
in a week.
When I was, well, yeah, but I don't eat, I definitely don't get that many. I would never. I'd probably get less than 2-3 carbs a day. But the point is that when I was eating a regular diet, I didn't get that much fruit. So why the fuck would I eat that much fruit on a carnivore diet? It doesn't make any sense. Like, I didn't need it before. Why would I need it now?
Right.
You know? So, and the other thing, I was researching. So I was having the same heart palpitations that Paul Saladino was having.
This is good.
Taurine, hello, like, it was so obvious to me. Our food doesn't have the taurine in it. Yes, there's taurine in steak, but the way that we process our meat, the way they hang it and they let all the blood come out, we get less than what it's saying that we get at taurine. So you're basically almost on a zero taurine diet if you're only eating red meat. You need taurine. Taurine is the second most abundant amino acid in the body. It's not an essential in the formation of muscle and building tissue. It helps fold the proteins in your body. It also helps you retain electrolytes. Go look up on YouTube. There's tons of videos about it. About, like, it's a super nutrient. I mean, it's like this thing that we've been missing. I started supplementing with taurine. The heart palpitations go away, right? And if they start to come back, I could literally take one and then it's gone within a few minutes. Fucking magic. I don't have to eat 400 grams of fucking fruit like goddamn Paul Saladino. You weren't getting enough taurine. He doesn't eat seafood.
He said that in his video.
He says it all the time. Seafood is the high. That's where all the taurine is, right?
And chicken.
And well, a little bit in chicken, but the highest amount of taurine is found in scallops. Okay, he doesn't even eat seafood. He literally bashes seafood all the time. No shit, dude. You weren't getting enough taurine. It's so obvious.
It's really not ubiquitous in enough amount for his situation. And again, this is why it's so important to really just be distinctive of how is this diet working for you and your individual needs, because I don't have that problem. I don't get heart palpitations. I don't get electrolyte imbalances like he does.
But we're all different, right? Maybe I have some
different.
sort of, genetic thing that means I uptake less taurine than she does, or whatever, or what. There could be some small nuance in our DNA.
I'm testing my DNA with a company, actually. Once we get those results, we'll go live and discuss them. Once I see mine, we might do his to see if it's something that's going to be useful for him. Because again, I don't know yet, but apparently this company has the most actionable results in existence.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. It should be another few weeks before I get that back, but we'll break that down because again, there could be clues in our various DNA expression as to what could be the optimal version of carnivore for each person. And that's what I'm really hoping to unpack with this, is that can I support people through this in a more meaningful way by having this level of precision testing available.
Yeah. But the thing about with taurine, man, once you look into it, I mean, it helps with like cholesterol levels. It helps with raising HDL, lowering LDL.
I put taurine in IVs for my patients all the time because it's
Do you know,
just so
and here's the
solid.
thing, people think that it's a stimulant. Taurine's not a stimulant. Taurine actually calms you. Do you want to know the reason why they put it in Red Bull? It's not to help stimulate you. It's because Red Bull makes you jittery, and taurine counters that.
It gives you the palpitations, so of course they give you the taurine
So they
stop
give
palpitations.
you the Red Bull to give you the palpitations, and the taurine helps calm you. That's why they put it in Red Bull. It's so brilliant.
Paul, if you're watching this, just try some taurine.
Just go back to carnivore for a week and just taurine. Just try it. Just get some scallops, bro. Just get some scallops. I like since I found out, I've been eating more seafood for that reason. But he demonized. He only ate red meat, and there's no taurine in liver. I mean, if there is, there's a slight amount, but it's not enough, right? You need more because we're being assaulted by all different kinds of things. EMFs, our electrolytes are being used up. Taurine actually counters this. Taurine helps regulate your digestive tract. It does all these great things, so something to look at.
Cool. Well, we went kind of off track on just the stool stuff, but we hope that you found the rest of this information valuable because it should be helping you, or at least somebody that you know, on your carnivore journey. Is there anything else you want to add before we?
I don't think so. But just so don't freak out if you don't have a poop every time you did when you were eating the plant stuff.
Only pay attention if there's those.
I poop every day
that
though.
I mentioned.
Now I do, you know. But I'm also on a system, so I mean, like I eat the same time every day, and I eat pretty much the same stuff, so it's regulated now. You know.
Yeah. So get help if you have issues that I mentioned before. If you don't have any of those issues, and it's strictly just what you would refer to as constipation, which is actually just infrequent stools, you're on the right track. Everything's likely okay, and keep going because you're doing great things for your body and your health.
Yeah. We'll talk to you soon.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.